open up that Crystal Pepsi and get comfortable.
This is Dope Nostalgia.
Snacks. Welcome to Dope Nostalgia. Niskers is back. Nicole, she was with me on my Columbia House episode, and we had so much fun. I said, it's time to come back, Nicole. Yay. So
yes, and I love discussing all the other aspects of 90s culture. I love how you deep dive into the music and like dissect the albums and stuff. And I'm over here, I'm like, oh, I love snacks. I love getting things in the mail. Let's talk about that. So here we are.
There's a 90s culture to almost every aspect of life. So this is a great idea. And I'm welcoming back to the show Danielle from No More Late Fees podcast. Hi. Thank you so much for making the time, because I literally asked you like yesterday.
No, I'm so excited. I was jealous that Jackie got to have like a solo episode when you guys ranted about Wonderful Hanson.
Oh, yes.
Better you than me. I can't do it. Can't do it.
Well, the funny thing is I was thinking about doing the show with Nicole. We'd already had it planned, and I'm thinking this is going to end up being very Canadian centric, because we sometimes have a lot of different snacks than you do in the States.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who can I bring on to talk about the American side of things? And we can have the counterbalance going, oh, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. So I was like, I was looking through the names, and I was like, yeah, let's talk to No More Late Fees girls again. And then I wrote you a message. Then I looked on your Instagram page, and you had literally just posted about Candy from the 90s. And I wrote you back, and I'm like, holy crap, I didn't even see that.
It's perfectly fine. Like, actually, the funny thing is we did a video as like a Patreon bonus on Jackie, and I bought a bunch of 90s candy, and we literally taste tested. It's pretty ridiculous, actually, the whole episode. But because we aren't talking about movie or TV content right now to support the SAG-AFTRA and WGA strike, we were like, oh, we should totally use that as an episode. And we're having a lot of fun, and we're definitely going to invite you to come and talk about some 90s music, because we know you're an expert. I have to give you props about your Jimmy Ray episode. Let me tell you, I have to send you the clip. There's an episode where in the middle of the episode, it has nothing to do with Jimmy Ray, but it came in my head, and I was like, Jackie, have you not heard of this song? And I made her watch the video. She had never heard of Are You Jimmy Ray? She was like, I don't even know where to start.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw that you interviewed him. I was like, oh, this is
it was
cool.
mind-blowing for me too that he said yes, because like I know he's a one-hit wonder, but like I actually considered him quite famous at the time.
Yeah. I was shocked Jackie never heard of this. I was like, this changed my DNA when this music video came out, because it's like, what's happening? How did we get here?
You know what this reminds me? I haven't told Nicole yet. I was going to tell her, because she entered my contest to win an autographed Jimmy Ray CD. Well, you won.
Yes.
So you get one of my autographed CDs that he so kindly, I got this package from the UK in the mail, and he had sent all these CDs as gifts to give away to the listeners. So I was like, what a great guy.
He sounded so nice and so like cool. And I was just like, I wish, more people knew about how do more people not know about this song? The video, iconic.
It was so hooky, like it just got stuck right in your head. I think actually that CD might have been one of my BMG purchases.
Ooh,
the club.
Mm-hmm.
Coming full circle.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my favorite episodes we've done, was when we talked about Columbia House. Do you remember Columbia House, Danielle?
Yeah. So I was looking at my DVDs, and I was like, why do I have to my best friend's wedding DVDs, and I like was legit obsessed with Julia Roberts. So I like have almost all of her movies in that time period. I was like, damn, I was dedicated. But I noticed that it didn't have like the Blockbuster stickers, because I usually used to always get them from there. And I remember that like maybe my sophomore year in college, they got me with that 99-cent intro. And then next thing I'm knowing, I'm paying like full price for these Julia Roberts movies.
Yeah.
I had to be cut off.
Nicole, that was a great idea for a show. You were fantastic.
I loved that one so much. And it's actually started a little ongoing thing when my husband and I go out to the garage for our little sessions, and some CD comes up. We're deep diving into 90s ourselves. He's like, okay, so did you own this CD? Was it high rotation? Was it Columbia House or BMG? And did you have the matching piano, vocal, guitar folio for it? And it's almost always like, yep, 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 yep.
There was a store here in West Edmonton Mall, which, Danielle, is one of the biggest malls in the world, not the biggest anymore, but where I remember Mr. Entertainment had a store right by the Ice Palace, and you could go in there and get all your favorite songs and the piano, guitar, vocal versions of them and play them at home on whatever instrument you chose. So that's very cool.
I had way too much. I spent so much money in that store, Mr. Entertainment, not only for the sheet music, but like karaoke tracks. Like, I don't even want to think about how much money I spent in that store on that exact thing. So I could play along with the CD on my little piano.
I didn't even know this store existed. So it was like a store you could buy instruments and stuff like that, but also buy the instrumentals of song. That's so cool.
Sheet music, instruments, karaoke supplies. I think I bought my first karaoke machine there and it was a dual cassette player on each side. And so it was all those you sing the hits tapes that I would buy to put into it. Wow, yeah. That takes me back. And then you can just record on the recording side while you're singing along to the tape.
Make your own demos, get famous.
Right. And that is like the biggest thing I remember in that the Coyote Ugly movie, because she had like all her tape demos.
That's right. Oh, I need to watch that movie again.
Same.
So I was thinking we could do this candy thing. Candy snacks. We're going to talk about things that we ate in the 90s. Drink. I think drinks can be included in that too.
Yeah.
Some of these things still exist today, but for some reason they really stick out in our minds from that era.
Yeah.
But I was thinking to add the element of surprise when someone brings something up, that maybe we could just take turns presenting a snack or a drink or whatever it is you want to present.
Yeah. Sounds
I know
good.
we talked about sharing the list, but I kind of like the element of going, oh, yeah. But I'd love to let Nicole start with one of her Niskers, with one of your picks of something you'd like to talk about from the candy era.
From the candy era. So I'm gonna go ahead and caveat. I lived on a farm during the 90s, and so we had satellite, and I was always seeing the amazing snacks that they had in the States, and then being real salty that we couldn't get them up here. So we started taking little road trips and stuff down to the States. And one trip I came back with 37 pounds over your suitcase limit, and it was all snacks. And she looked at me, she's like, so what are you leaving? I'm like, nothing. What's my charge? And she's like, you're bringing back all of these snack foods from the States. I'm like, it's stuff that we don't have here, so don't worry about it. So a lot of the stuff that Danielle will probably talk about today will be stuff that I was salty that I couldn't get or had tried at some point. However, the first thing I would like to bring to the table, and I was a very spoiled kid, so I had all of the snack foods in my house. It was no wonder that I got real fat, but that's a whole nother thing. So delicious fruit snacks. They were little, almost like fruit gummies, and they came in little shapes of the pop bottles, and the root beer flavored one was a root beer mug. I would take those and I would give them to my Barbies as as their food and stuff, because they were that exact shape, and they actually tasted like what they were supposed to taste like. The cola tasted like cola, and the grape tasted like grape, and the root beer tasted like root beer, and they were so good. And I was devastated when they were discontinued, and I can't find them anymore. It makes me very sad. Do you guys Are you familiar with the So Delicious?
I'm not. I mean, we had gummy candy similar, like they were in the shapes and everything, but one, I don't know what they were called, and two, I'd never heard that brand before though. But this sounds delicious, and I feel very kismet connection to you because I too loved realistic things for my Barbies, like erasers shaped like food, like anything that was going to give me that real, like they have their own food. So props.
I'm wondering if some of the snacks too could be regional, let alone from country to country.
Yeah.
Kind of like how they only have like In-N-Out Burger on the West Coast, things like that.
Yeah, that's so true.
And in the States. I want that. I want Sonic.
Yeah,
I want my Naomi, where's our Whole Foods? We got gypped out of Whole Foods, man.
We almost
You guys don't have Whole Foods?
We don't have Whole Foods.
What about Trader Joe's? You guys have Trader Joe's, right?
Nope. We have Safeway. Yeah.
That is not a comparison.
Okay. Yeah, no, we don't really. What do we have that would be like a healthy grocery store?
Well, we did have Planet Organic before they stopped paying their people.
Do you guys have a Sprouts there?
No.
It's really funny because I thought Trader Joe's had a like headquarters or another like place in Canada, but maybe I was wrong.
It's also plausible that it could be in Toronto or Vancouver, where we are in the middle of the prairies. I didn't know what to call it first.
we call it the boonies here.
Kind of, sort of. We're in the most northern city in North America with a population over 1 million. Edmonton.
Okay.
So
Edmonton. Why does that sound familiar?
Edmonton. I don't know. Do you watch South Park? On one episode, they told us to meet by the tree in Edmonton.
No. But
anyway, yeah. So I mean, like, I heard we're gonna get Chipotle finally, though. Nicole, have you heard of Chipotle?
I have heard of Chipotle. I've heard many things about
you tasted
Chipotle.
It?
No, have you?
Yes. Every time I go to the States, I need to have some.
How different is it than like Mucho Burrito and Bar Burrito? Because we have both of those up here, fairly accessible to us. So how would you say it differentiates?
Better. I don't know how it differentiates. Like, I don't know. I never crave Mucho Burrito, but we have that Chipotle that's just, wow. I don't know what it is about it. They put it together in front of you so fast. You know, they have everything out there on the assembly line, like a Subway for like Mexican food. It makes me happy. Chipotle makes me happy. Is it even considered Mexican food? Because it's not really authentic, is it?
It's not. It's not authentic. It's kind of like the same as Taco Bell, but fresher. Which somebody's actually suing Taco Bell right now here in the States.
For what?
For like false advertising and stuff, because the pictures of the food don't look like what you get. 2
tiny little teaspoons of food inside my huge wrap.
And the videos that are coming out about how they make the beans look like guinea pig food, and then they add the water to it and they stir it around a bunch. Like the beef is the same. I used to work at Taco Bell back in like the early 2000s. So it's what you're hearing is true.
I've never been a Taco Bell fan ever. Like Jackie, her family loves the enchilada, and when they do the limited release of it, that's it. They go and get it. And I'm like, I can't be a part of this. I don't know what is in that food.
Okay, so we'll say Chipotle is a very high scale Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Yes. I think the meat's real.
Yeah. They had a lot of cases of people getting sick for a while there, but I think they scaled that back. Everything's fine. Canada, you're safe. You're safe.
I feel like that meme of that little thing sitting in the fire. This is fine. Everything's fine. except my butthole.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
we'll get Danielle to go on with her next or her first pick for her
Oh
favorite
gosh.
snacky food.
Snack or candy? You know what? I'm gonna start with a drink,
Okay.
and it's called Surge. They brought it back a
Oh.
few years ago, but my God, you know how they talk about how Mountain Dew is like the worst thing you could drink ever? Surge will beat that.
Okay, what was Surge? Niskers, do you remember ever having Surge here? I don't.
No, I'm frantically Googling over here to see if I can, because sometimes if I
send-
see a picture of it,
Yeah.
oh, no, I
Yeah.
never drank that. But that is a cool looking can.
So they brought it back, so I can like go to a store and find it now. But I actually did a video. I'll have to send it to you of me and my sister. Well, I made my brother and sister try it. They are like about 15 and 18 years younger than me. So they didn't know what the heck it was. It is just sugar. It is diabetes in a can, and
Ooh.
it is very bad for you. And we were chugging that stuff in like high school. It's green and it's sugar. That's it.
What does it taste like?
Oh gosh. I would say the comparison would be a Mountain Dew, but like a little bit different.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
supposed to be-
carbonated?
yes, it's a soda. Yeah. But it's sugar. Like your teeth. The fact I have teeth, I don't know. Because the 90s, they didn't care. They gave us everything.
Yep.
It was the best of times. It was the best of times. My dentist was happy. Now, Danielle, my question to you is, you said that you've tried it relatively recently. Does your memory of it now
Mhm.
compare? Is it the same as it was in the 90s? Like if we take away the rose-colored glasses and our nostalgic feelings about how amazing it was, is it the same?
I think so. I mean, there have been a few things that have come back, and I'm like the Dunkaroos don't give me the same feeling as they used to. Probably because there's FDA regulations that they adhere to now. But I think the Surge it still has the same kick to it. So, but now my tastes are different. Like I'm like, oh, that's a lot of sugar. I can't drink that. I can't drink it. So
That's true. And with our adult minds thinking about what's the actual content in what we're eating or drinking,
yeah.
yeah, that probably adds to taking away from the fun of it. But Nicole, that was such a good question. Actually, when you think about it, there's a lot of things that we loved when we were kids, and now we're like, that wasn't as great as I thought it was.
And like
Yes.
Danielle hit the nail right on the head by mentioning Dunkaroos. Like we were all so excited. Oh, Dunkaroos are coming back. And then everybody's trying them and they're like, oh, it's not even the same. Well, of course it's not.
Yeah. No, I think you're better off actually, for a while there before they came back, people started making like dupe recipes. I think you're actually better off trying to make a version on your own, because I was very disappointed. I saw they're like everywhere now. They're at a gas station and I was like, this doesn't hit the same.
Mm.
I learned recently we have a few candy stores out here that really like to export all the good stuff, or import all the good stuff in from the States. And apparently there are chocolate and vanilla flavored Dunkaroos that are available like everywhere, but then there's a few other flavors that you can only get in the States that this particular store is bringing in. So that's really interesting. You guys get way more flavors of like everything than we do here.
I feel like it's funny you say that, because I feel like Japan and like Asian countries will get totally different flavors of things that we don't even get here in the States. Like I remember when I found out the Kit Kats had like different flavors other than chocolate. I was like, what you talk about? Other flavors. I was very surprised. Now you can get them a little bit more, but when I first found out, I was like, this is crazy. They have like matcha and strawberry and stuff like that and Kit Kats.
Really?
Oh, you could do a whole show on just like Japanese candy. It's
Oh man,
so
Pocky.
good.
I should have had Pocky on my list now that you bring
Heck
that up.
yes.
Yeah.
Pocky. We had Japanese exchange students living with us for a few days back in the 90s, and they brought us snacks and presents and such, and Pocky. So that was the first time I ever tried it. Now Pocky's pretty much readily available anywhere in
Yeah.
a Canadian grocery store.
Did you ever get there's another candy that's similar. It's same ingredients, different shape. It's like little tree stumps, and then when you bite in, the chocolate part is inside. So it's like the pokey stick part is not the candy, but like the cookie part. And then the chocolate stuff is inside. And I still love those.
I've
So
never
it's like,
seen tree stumps, but we have one here called Hello Panda. That's like really, it sounds exactly like what you're describing, except they're in little shapes of cute bears playing soccer and stuff.
ooh, that's
So-
cute.
Mhm.
Very cool. I don't want to like double turn on one person. Things just happen. You bring things up. It's perfect. It works anyways. But it was kind of segueing from what Niskers was talking about. Is it the same now? My pick for the next turn here was Crystal Pepsi.
Ooh, you got to taste that now? They came out with
It
it
came
again?
back in Canada. I remember it was the summer that Pokemon Go came out because we went and picked
Ooh.
up some Crystal Pepsi and took it with us to the ledge to go play Pokemon Go for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, it still just tasted like Pepsi to me. I
Yeah.
remember when we originally had it the first time, everybody was saying, "Ooh, this is so gross." And I'm like, but I don't, is it in your eyes? To me, it tasted the same. I don't know. And it did, and actually did taste pretty much the same, but then we put vodka in it and then we ruined it. So,
Oh.
or made it better, however you want to, look at that. But yeah, Crystal Pepsi. And then I also remember Saturday Night Live doing their commercials back in the day.
Mhm.
Had one that was making fun of Crystal Pepsi where they made Crystal Gravy. It looked like this. You can imagine what it looked like, pouring it on mashed potatoes and stuff. Hilarious. Hilarious. So did you guys try Crystal Pepsi back in the day?
Yeah. You're right. I was just like, it's just Pepsi though.
I feel
Did
like
you
it's
like
one
it?
of those things when I tasted it at the time, it probably tasted like Pepsi, but I wonder if we were to put them side by side and taste them. That was the
Mhm.
only way I could ever establish myself as a firm, like I'm a Coke fan. I'm
Yeah.
Coca-Cola all the way. But it wasn't until the 90s when they did that side by side taste test. I don't remember which company it was, but they made you taste the Coke and they taste the Pepsi. And
Mhm.
of course you had to pick which, I think it was Pepsi. And if you picked the Pepsi
Yeah.
one, then they gave you prizes. And I'm like, sip, sip. That one's better. And ever since then, it's been Coke all the way.
It's so
Really?
funny because you know how you said your house was like the snack house? Jackie's house was the snack house growing up, and her mom, like, I remember the first time going to her house and just being like, is this place real? Because there'd be snacks everywhere. And when you would open the fridge, it was just Pepsis everywhere. And my mom, of course, didn't let me drink any soda, but I was going crazy at Jackie's house. But Jackie's like the only person in her family that really likes Coke. So there would be all this Pepsi, and there'd just be like a little corner with her Cokes, which I always think is hilarious. But I prefer Coke over Pepsi too. You could tell the difference in the taste.
I'm a Pepsi girl. I think part of it
Really?
had to do with the fact that everywhere I've worked as a professional adult is in restaurants, and every restaurant I worked in serves Pepsi.
Gotcha.
It's definitely more common in restaurants than Coke is, I find.
So now we have Starry, which was Sierra Mist, but Sierra Mist used to be something else when we were younger. Do you guys remember what it was called? Because it wasn't always Sierra Mist. I remember it like changing.
I don't think I've
It
ever
was
had
like
a Sierra Mist. I've
We
heard
didn't
of the
have
name.
Sierra Mist up in
Oh, wow.
Canada. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's like
Surprise!
Pepsi's answer to Sprite, which it was
Ah.
not much of an answer. It's what I would end up getting if I went to a place that served Pepsi products. I would hate going to a movie theater that had Pepsi products because I'm like, I want a
Oh.
Sprite. This is not right.
That
I had to
rhymes.
I had to look it up. and see what it was called
We serve
before.
our Pepsi companies, our Pepsi products serve 7-Up.
It's like they killed it here. You can buy it at the grocery store, but it's never fountain, like ever.
Really?
It just felt like people were preparing you in high school and elementary school for 7-Up being like a real thing in the real world, and it wasn't. I was disappointed. Like we played that heads up 7-Up that game when we were in elementary and middle school, and I'm just like, but it's like doesn't exist anymore.
Where's the 7-Up, guys?
Right.
Well, this is our episode where we entice you to come to Canada
I've got
and
to come.
enjoy our 7-Up waterfalls.
Or we'll start,
Don't go
Danielle.
chasing waterfalls.
We'll start trading care packages. I'll send you
Yes.
Canadian snacks, and we can do all kinds of exchange. I will send you 7-Up, lady. I will send you the 7-Up.
It's
Ketchup
nothing but a
chips.
word. How about clearly Canadian? Because that just came back, and that was my jam. It's on your list. Sorry, I know we're
Don't
going
worry.
all over.
We're probably going to go all over each other's lists. It's fine.
That is something that still hits. It still was good when I find, but it's like $2, almost $2 a bottle now.
It's expensive here too, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
almost 4.
Like,
Yeah.
what's in here? Crack? Why are you guys like?
And
why
the
is it so
bottle got
expensive?
smaller. I swear the bottle got smaller.
It did. It did.
Did you like Clearly Canadian, Whiskers?
I did like clearly Canadian. There were certain flavors that I liked more. Peach was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
However, the shape of the bottle of clearly Canadian just always made me go right for the Orbits. I always needed to go and look for Orbits. Do you guys remember Orbits?
I never tasted it, but I always remembered seeing it. To me, I was very put off about like what is floating in there. And the fact that nobody could really give me an answer. And this is before I discovered like boba tea and stuff. So I'm like, what is in there? Why does it look like a lava lamp? So no. It was a hard no for me.
I was all about that. Like it was like a drink and a snack all in one.
They don't make those anymore, do they? I know we don't have them in the States.
No, that is not something produced. I think it was a very short time period. I don't think it was as successful as they had hoped for, to be honest. But
Much
yes,
to my disappointment.
but if you're a listener who doesn't know what Orbits is, I assume first of all you're Googling things that we are talking about. Fuck, I do say it. But yeah, it's like this bottle with these little gel balls floating around in it. What would you call that stuff? What was in the balls?
Okay, listeners, close your eyes and imagine with me. Imagine your favorite very, very carbonated soda, and you're sipping your soda, and then all of a sudden something that's very akin to like a fruity boba gummy kind of enters your mouth, and all of a sudden you're chewing while you're drinking your soda. That's honestly how I would explain little gummy boba type things before they were called boba, before boba was cool.
Way before boba was cool.
Way before boba was cool.
It was probably cool in different parts of the world. Just
Mhm.
it hadn't maybe been as cool in North America yet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
hadn't rolled over through the ports yet.
That's right. Nicole, would you like to present the next?
These were really
Yeah.
prevalent back in my lunches. I always had those handy snacks, either with the breadsticks on one side and then the cheese on the other. And I know that they're still around. The thing that makes me really mad right now, though, is they no longer come with that red stick to spread your cheese. You have
What?
to
Use
try
your
to use.
finger?
You have to try to use the cracker, and the cracker breaks because the cheese is too hard and there's no stick.
That's crazy.
Trying to
Right?
save on plastic, I assume.
But they could have done a wooden stick. They could have done something. And those
need a
little
spreader.
bread sticks aren't causing the problems of global warming or global boiling is what we are in right now. But like, be for real.
For real, the cheese is so hard. and it is impossible. You break crackers every time. So maybe this is me, nostalgia, rose glasses. The cheese was a lot softer in the 90s. The crackers were a lot stronger in the 90s, and the breadsticks worked too. Get off my lawn, you kids. Broken crackers.
Is it Kraft Handy Snacks? Is it Kraft that makes it?
I think so.
I know in the 90s it was Nabisco.
Oh. I'm
Does Nabisco
Googling
still
now.
exist?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a
it was a big
subsidiary of
company.
Mondelez.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
all like consolidated into one huge company now. I see it as Ritz,
Oh.
but then also see it as Mr. Salty. What is this? Oh, I guess it's the pretzel version.
That'd be good. But not for nostalgic purposes. Let me tell you. We need to talk to these people. We need to talk to them about stronger crackers, softer cheese.
I do like it's in the same category and it still exists now, but something about the cheese being almost like powder, but it's the Ritz cheese crackers. A lot of people like the peanut butter ones where the peanut butter is like little circles with the peanut butter in it. I was like, no, I want that dry cheese. I want that one.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Ritz sandwiches, the mini Ritz
Yes.
sandwiches.
Those used to hit. They don't taste the same anymore. I feel like they used to try to put the little bit of the salt flakes, like a Ritz cracker. They used to put them on the little ones with the dry cheese, and now they don't. So it's just like, But you just got me thinking now that I'm seeing the cheese, the cracker ratio situation.
Sometimes I'm wondering if it's the problem is my mouth. Has my mouth aged to the point where I don't taste anything the same, like, I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe, I just feel like things don't have as much of a stronger, like the flavors aren't as strong as they used to be.
We are losing our sense of taste. It's probably having to do with sense of smell and aging. Who knows? But that's why, like, when my grandma cooks, we have to like watch her because she'll make things like really salty, and we're like, "Do you not taste this?"
Yeah.
So I think there's some correlation there.
Okay,
But
that makes sense.
did you guys have a snack called Shark Bites?
No,
Yes.
maybe we did, but I never had it.
So okay, so you're all right. Shark Bites were the shit. Okay, like if you came to school with Shark Bites, you knew your mama got paid. Okay, like they were legit. The other one that was kind of close was Scooby Snacks. They actually rolled out, and I still remember those silver packages for both the Shark Bites and the Scooby Snacks. And the thing is, like, all the rest of the fruit snack colors were like regular gummy kind of fruit snacks. But that blue one was a little bit hotter and it was just perfection. Now, I can tell you, Shark Bites never went away. I can still go buy them, but they don't hit the same like they did when we were younger. That blue one doesn't have the same kind of hardness to it. It's just not the same. But I used to tear those things up. Classics.
Do we still have them in the grocery stores and such? Because I want to try it.
I don't know. I mean,
I'll write it down. Got to go get it.
yeah, you won't know what you're missing, so they'll still hit a little for you. Oh, I put Shark Bites in Google and I'm literally seeing people's legs being bit by real sharks. No,
Oh, no.
I mean the gummies.
Oops.
Oh man. See, the new box is like blue with this cartoon shark, but the old school one, now that, ooh, and they had different, sometimes they would have like a special flavor. Do you remember? This one has the tiger shark where it was orange with the white stripes on it.
Wow.
I go back. Those
I'm
were
so
the
glad
days.
I'm so glad you brought this one up. 'Cause, this is a whole new world for me.
I love me some Shark Bites.
I'm just looking at the old school packaging. Oh, those boxes. Now that logo would be considered terrifying. You wouldn't be allowed to put that old school logo on the box because it might scare people. He's
Is
made
it
these
a-
shark
would
bites made with real sharks.
Don't they make like a cartoon character or something on the cover? Not a real shark with like blood on his teeth and shit. No?
No. It's just it is cartoon.
Yeah.
But like the real old school one looks kind of lame, but the new one, the real new one, I guess Betty Crocker bought the brand, because I'm trying to see who had it originally.
You go, Betty. I love you.
Fruit Corners owned it before, who obviously don't exist anymore since now it's by Betty Crocker.
Okay.
Okay, Shark Bites. I'm sorry. I think theirs was white, maybe blue as well. I think Scooby Snacks were blue, the main one.
Oh, we have a song called Scooby Snacks by a band called Fun Loving Criminals. Free advertising.
It's about drugs. It's about drugs, not gummies.
Oh,
sounds about right. Sounds about
I totally
right.
thought it was about the snacks. Sure, I would. Okay, I got one for you. As a longtime employee of Pizza Hut in my youth, it's the stuffed crust pizza. Came out in the 90s, where they advertised to eat your pizza backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I love the crazy bread at Pizza Hut.
I love stuffed crust. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
But Pizza Hut back in the day and was in the 80s and 90s was such an experience, going into the Red Roof restaurant, going to the buffet and having like the ice cream machine and everything there. And they're all the Red Roofs are gone now in Edmonton. I don't know if like that broke my heart, honestly. Because for me, it's more than nostalgia, right? It was a huge part of my life. But
I think there's one, and I have to check, but there's one not too far from me, and I haven't been there in a long time. I don't know if they made it past COVID, but I don't know if this happened to you guys in Canada, but when we were in elementary school, if you like did really well and got on a roll, or the readathons and all that stuff, we would get these circular coupons, and there would always be something to like go to Pizza Hut. I don't know what kind of partnership the education system and Pizza Hut were doing in the 90s, but
it was
we
awesome.
were all going to Pizza Hut. I would be so excited because I'd be like, look what I earned, Mom. Pizza's on me today. You know, like
so proud of you. It was interesting being on the other side of that too. Because when I was managing the Pizza Hut, you get orders from school sometimes and where they were all paid in Book It coupons. Or like sometimes I think teachers took advantage of the program. They just hand you an unopened stack of Book It coupons. And I'm like, to pay for it. And I'm like, I don't know if this is for the teachers or the kids, honestly, but
I'm not mad at it. These poor teachers, they've
deserve it.
They've been scrounging for decades at this point, especially here in the States. So I'm gonna turn a blind eye, because I don't know what kind of drug cartel Pizza Hut and the education system was doing in the first place. And now I see it was international.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got a good point. I agree with you. The teachers do deserve it. So all the Book Its you want.
But for you as a manager, that must have been annoying as hell.
Oh, well. You do. What can you do? 300 personal pan pizzas, no problem. All at the same time, no problem. Good time.
So, but they were going to the kids? Were they taking?
I think sometimes they were probably doing hot lunches and stuff with them too.
Aww.
I bet you they were doing that, maybe selling them for lunch and then maybe making the profit towards some kind of a charity or a fundraiser. That could have been it too. Who knows?
I feel really silly. But for a second there, I caught a glimpse of my like fake TV back there. I was like, oh, I wonder what's playing. And then I'm like, this is not real. This is not my room.
Sorry. I wish it was my room right now. I would definitely have that New Kids bedspread you got going on there.
I'm digging the inflatable furniture. I loved that stuff.
It's pretty much the perfect room. That kid was rich.
Yes.
But yeah, stuffed crust pizza. I tried during the pandemic. I got really bored and creative with food, and I tried to make one at home, and it turned out quite good.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Did you use string cheese in the perimeter of your crust?
That's what you're supposed to do, but I didn't get string cheese. I got a big block of matzah and just cut it into string cheeses.
You're a rebel.
Perfect.
No, it doesn't. Well, it doesn't hit the same, but
No.
I didn't care.
Yeah, during the pandemic, I think there was a lot of experimenting going and just like whatever's gonna hit's gonna hit because I
Mhm.
can't get my normal stuff right now.
I was learning how to cook all over again. All the things I didn't. I've always wondered how I could make. I tried to make.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Dope Nostalgia listeners, I love you and I thank you so much for being a part of this show and its success over the last 2 years. We have what's called Patreon for those who want to support the show financially. For as little as $1 a month, you can become a subscriber and get bonus content, early podcast release, all kinds of cool behind the scenes stuff, and more. There's different tiers of membership starting at only $1 a month. And we even have some special merch for you guys who are in it for the long run. So please join our Patreon. It's at www.patreon.com/dope nostalgia.
Want to understand the world we live in today? Just go back 30 years to the 1990s. Nearly every aspect of society underwent major changes in the 90s that are still being felt today. Some things weren't so great. Hairstyles, trash TV, and baggy pants. But you know what was great? The music, the movies, TV, and changes in technology that were nothing short of revolutionary. I'm Kathy Kinzora, and on each episode of my podcast, History of the 90s, I look back at important news events and pop culture trends from the decade. So you can not only understand what happened, but also learn how it impacts you today. Everything from the end of communism and apartheid to supermodels and Super Nintendo. If it happened in the 90s, you'll hear about it on History of the 90s.
Handy snacks, cheese snacks. Kraft makes them wholesome, but you make them fun.
You can do some double dipping, string it nice and slow. Single, double, triple, anything goes. Swirl 'em, twirl 'em, do anything you please. It's hands-on fun made with good Kraft cheese.
Kraft Handy snacks. We make them wholesome.
You make 'em fun.
What do you got for us, Nicole?
Well, my mom was a compulsive dieter. And so all throughout the 90s, when Snackwells came out, we always had Snackwells cookies in our household.
I'm going to Google that.
Which kind? There was like a chocolate one with chocolate in the middle, I remember.
The devil's food was really, really popular.
Yeah.
Man, okay, I Googled it. And I think I have seen this before.
Yeah. I mean, diet culture being what it was back then.
Exactly. So all of those 30% less fat or whatever their thing was. And now, like, since then, I've obtained a certification as a nutritionist. So when it comes to all the diet stuff, if they're taking out calories, then they're usually putting it back in the form of salt. Or if they're taking out fat, they're putting it back in sugar, or vice versa. So really, but yeah, those things were always Diet Coke as well. Like, just so many diet products. There were so many diet products in my house, but Snackwells in those green boxes, and those cookies were so dry. They were awful. They were absolutely awful. And quite frankly, I would rather eat no cookies than eat one serving of Snackwells because they're bad.
That made me think about all the stuff. So like Jackie's mom and I at one point did Weight Watchers together, and just totally forgot about this whole memory. They had the like thin Nabisco cookies and stuff. They still have them. Like you get the thin Oreos, the chocolate chip cookies, and apparently they were just like okay to eat because they were less calories, I guess you could say. All of that was wrong. I mean, Weight Watchers in general is just like insane. You lose weight, but you don't keep it off, obviously, because you go back to eating the way that you were. It's very difficult to keep that mindset. And like we were coming up with stuff like Jackie's mom would take salami and put it in the microwave and get it like real crispy, or bologna and get it real crispy. And then like we had like kind of, what do you call it, burrito rolls and tortillas. So I couldn't think of it. And making these like weird snacks and stuff like that, having the time of our lives dieting. And now I realize how toxic all of that is. Thank God we don't have to live that way anymore. Now we just do Ozempic and
I've been thinking about that, but
so
yeah,
bad. It's so bad.
Who's
Not
next?
that I'm shaming
Sure,
anybody.
Danielle.
Just do research. Do research, everybody.
Okay.
Okay. Next snack. Oh gosh. I have so many. So I was a Little Debbie girl. Jackie and I had a debate on one of our shows about Little Debbie versus Hostess. And I was a Little Debbie gal. Turns out I thought being a Little Debbie girl was better, but it is not. Apparently, the Little Debbie snacks were the ghetto and the Hostess were the rich girls' treat. Learned that the hard way on that episode. But zebra cakes, Swiss rolls, everything in that wheelhouse, that whoever Little Debbie is, that's my girl. Except the oatmeal cream pies, which my mom always got because for some reason she thought they were healthier because it had oatmeal, but it was just pure sugar and it tastes like crap. I don't like oatmeal cookies, so like wasn't my bag.
That's the first Little Debbie product that pops up when you Google it. Is oatmeal cream pies all over the place.
Garbage. But I would try to trade those for something else. Nobody wanted it. You know it's not good when no one wants to trade with you. So
That's so funny. Those are actually coming up on my TikTok feed right now to air fry them because I'm obsessed with my air fryer. And so that was one of the recipes. Take Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies and throw them in your air fryer for like 6 minutes. And apparently they're supposed to be the hottest dang thing.
y'all can't fool me with no damn air fryer, nothing. I don't want
Magic.
They are. I love air fryers, but I don't want those damn oatmeal pies. Like it's PTSD for me. Okay, I hate those damn things.
But they even got a double decker oatmeal cream pie. This is
trash. If those cookies are like my means of survival in a zombie apocalypse, I'm dying. Okay, I'm not eating them.
Okay.
The worst.
I don't think I've ever had a Little Debbie anything. Do we have Little Debbie Kniskers? We do. Oh,
we do at Walmart. In the same section as the Hostess stuff too. So
yeah, they're like right next to each other.
You could get your Twinkies and your oatmeal cream pies at the same time.
Oh, there's also a donut stick. Love those. And the brownies, but I like the brownies with the nuts and not the brown. Now they have these brownies with the cosmic
brownies.
I want the original, okay? Because something about those brownies with the cosmic stuff don't taste like the original bricks that were the original brownies.
They really were bricky, weren't they? Like, like delicious chocolate flavored Play-Doh is almost how it felt in your mouth. Bizarre.
And then the last in this wonderful group of snacks was, there used to be one where it was like a chocolate cake with a white frosting with little chocolate chips on it. I can't remember what it was called. But those were my favorite, but I can never really find those as much anymore. Oh, and a shout out for Jackie. She loves when during Christmas time they have the Christmas tree cakes. Those are, she buys those in bulk.
Wow.
Yeah, you're missing out. Got to go find that Little Debbie.
No, they have so many different products.
Yeah.
Wow. And this also segues well into the next one because I was going to go for the Hostess cupcakes, the chocolate cupcakes
With the little squiggle.
Yes.
with the squiggly white icing on top and then the cream filling inside. They were amazing, but I believe they're still made, but not the same. The company Hostess, I thought was a Canadian company, but apparently not.
It
right?
doesn't. I think it's American, but it doesn't. That you're right. It does not taste the same. There was something about the chocolate layer that just I don't want to say crispy, but it just had like a different kind of texture that it doesn't hit the same. And
It
the
had
vanilla,
a nice bite to it, like when you
Yes.
like just that little firmness from that icing, like doing its little air dry thing for a bit. Like I know exactly what you mean. I know that feeling on my teeth like so well.
Yeah.
And there's no other way to describe it except a little bite. Like
Yeah. And then they
Hostess-
had the vanilla. So did you like the vanilla or the chocolate one?
I did not like the vanilla. It was all about
Okay.
the chocolate one. And they would sell them in little 2-packs in the convenience
Yes.
store. And I would get the 2-packs in the cellophane wrapper because I thought it was better than anything that in the box. It was different. I don't know why.
Yeah. It's perfectly good reasoning. I'm here for it.
But Hostess was like a chip company in the 80s and 90s as well. In Canada, Hostess made in their foil bags. They were a very popular potato chip. They were pretty experimental at one point because Hostess made grape, orange, and cherry potato chips that in Canada for a while. Yeah, I didn't know that. I just, when I was looking up Hostess, that was a thing that happened, and it didn't go. I wonder why, but it didn't go. But yeah, Hostess made chips and a lot of things, and I thought it was a Canadian company. I really did.
rats.
It's okay. It's okay. But ketchup chips, I know that's something you might need in your care package.
Yes, I would love to try. I don't think I've ever had them before.
Yeah, I sent a package of ketchup chips to a kid in Guam during the pandemic because she was like I was doing Twitch streaming. I was trying all kinds of things in 2020. So I was doing Twitch streaming and she came on and watched my video games or whatever. And then told me she was stationed in Guam. Her parents were there for the military. And she's like, "Oh, you're from Canada? I tried to go there one time, but we couldn't cross the border and all I wanted was some ketchup chips."
Oh, that was so nice of you.
It's really hard to ship things to Guam from Canada. Let me tell you, I ended up just shipping it to her sister in the continental US who sent it to her that way.
Gotcha. Oh,
Wow.
It's easy. It's easy for an American to mail to Guam, but not for a Canadian.
Oh, yeah. Well, that makes sense. It's a American territory, I believe, right?
Yeah.
I know
It's a military
maps.
base.
I don't know anything. I'm sure.
But yeah. Yeah, Nicole, let's see what you got.
Did either of you ever get to try those weird colored ketchups that they put out in the 90s?
I wasn't
Purple
about it.
and the green. I never tried them. I never wanted to because ketchup is red and ketchup is red and ketchup is red and that is all.
I think they had them for mayonnaise as well. And I was like, y'all tripping. I don't need all these colors.
They did have it for mayo too.
Yeah.
You're right.
No, I never tried it.
That was Heinz that was doing that?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. I actually made something for TikTok for girl dinner, and I was just doing a bunch of 90 snacks, and something got messed up, so I took it down, but I need to put it back up. That was one of them, fries with like the colored things. And it also makes me think of remember when they thought it was a good idea to put the peanut butter and jelly swirl thing in the same bottle?
No.
Oh, Goober. Yeah. And Goober's made a comeback. I found it in Costco a couple of years back. I know the States had both grape jelly and peanut butter and then the strawberry and peanut butter, and you can get the strawberry and peanut butter up here.
I didn't like that because your girl likes a lot of peanut butter and just a little drizzle of jelly. Like, I'm not about that equal ratio. It's not equal rights on my sandwiches for peanut butter and jelly. So hard pass on that mixture. Okay.
I get that. I get where you're coming from, just improper ratios. Totally get that.
Well, my next snack is deli kettle corn. Well, not kettle corn, but kettle chips. They came in a purple bag, neon purple bag. They still make them by Wise, but they do not taste the way that they did when I was younger. So I lived in New York. I lived in New York and Florida growing up. So in New York, we have bodegas and corner stores. They're infamous. Like, you would be able to just roll up a few cents, get a whole smorgasbord of snacks. And the Wise chips were only like 25 cents. And they were crispy and salty and just like airy, just a better quality chip, you know, at the time. Now everybody has kettle chips, but back then it was like not a thing as much. And then they had a jalapeno flavor, and so it was a little spice. Ugh. If you haven't tried, in our care package, my care package to you guys, I'll have to find it and send it to you, because I don't know if you guys had that one.
I remember back in the 90s, isn't that when Old Dutch put out their original batch of the kettle cooked chips, and they had the mesquite barbecue and an original and a salt and vinegar and the jalapeno and cheddar. And that jalapeno and cheddar, they still make that today, but I remember them being so spicy. So spicy. And maybe this is just because my taste buds were a little bit more alive, and I've killed a lot of those since then. But now I'm like, where's the spice? Where's the jalapeno? Slow, waiting. Jalapeno come. But like the crunch of a kettle chip back in the 90s, when that started to pick up trend, the mouthfeel of those, and I hate that word mouthfeel, but it's like the crunch between the teeth. It was so different than your classic potato chips. And
yeah.
Wild.
Kettle is just so good. I think the closest thing is Cape Cod chips. Do you guys have that one?
No.
Really?
No.
Damn.
Tell us more.
Those are good chips. Those are my mom's favorite. They're kettle corn too. I mean, I keep saying corn. Kettle cooked.
Yes. Those jalapeno cheddar Old Dutch to this day are still my favorite potato chip.
I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, they're incredible. I would put them in your care package too. But it's funny because we were talking about losing our taste buds. As a server, why is it when I serve elderly people, senior citizens, is this spicy? Can I have this? It's got like no spice, and they're like, this is too spicy. I can't eat this. What's that all about?
My grandma does that too. Like, if I put even a pinch of just black pepper, my grandma is Jamaican, okay? And let me just explain what that means. That means that this woman takes bonnet peppers and puts them in her stews and stuff. And like, you have to be really careful with those, because if they burst, then it's like game over. Your mouth is on fire kind of thing. That's the kind of spice this woman has. But I make mashed potatoes with a sprinkle of pepper. She's coughing and dying. I don't understand.
I love pepper. That is funny though. Yeah. Like I maybe they suddenly spring back to life in your 60s.
No.
Maybe it's not even the mouth. Maybe it's the rest of the body can't handle the spice.
Maybe. Oh, you're right. But she starts coughing, so it hasn't even gotten down the digestive tract yet. So I like that you're trying to defend my grandma and her nonsense and all these old people.
We love our seniors.
What's your next snack?
My next snack is the Pizza Pop.
Oh,
the classic.
The Pizza Pop is probably the Canadian version of the Hot Pocket.
Hot Pocket.
Because Pizza Pops are school lunches, man. And it's kind of folded like a huge pierogi. This is what it kind of looks like. So it's probably, about the same size as a Hot Pocket. And it's got like the pinched edges that look like they were pinched with a fork all the way around kind of thing. And you got all kinds of pizza pops, just like you do Hot Pockets. But those were very popular in like school lunches to throw in the microwave at school. Oh, and crazy story. I grew up without a microwave.
That's awesome.
I didn't even have a microwave until I'd gotten out of the house growing up. Yeah.
I love pizza pops cooked in the oven.
Yes,
There's-
they taste. I'm guessing that they taste way better than microwave. I hated Hot Pockets in the microwave. They were gross. I hated Hot Pockets. They were not. They were not quality.
No.
But it's so. Did you guys have like bagel bites and pepperoni pizza bites as well?
Yes.
Well,
Sure did.
it's I don't think it's the it's not pizza bites. Oh, hold
I
on.
like bagel bites better than pizza pops now.
Pizza rolls, I think. Totinos.
Oh, the Totina pizza rolls.
Yes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
There's always a debate between were you a Totino's pizza roll person or a bagel bite. It's hard choices.
I wonder if we can get those pizza rolls here. I gotta try them.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had them.
Really?
That. No. I like bagel bites though. I do. I get them occasionally on a whim.
You have to be really careful with the pizza rolls because if you try to eat them when they're too hot, they burn your mouth because it's just like fire inside. We have all learned that lesson the hard way multiple times.
Probably why we can't taste anything anymore.
Right?
That's what it is.
When
All
I
right.
had COVID and I lost my sense of smell and taste for a little while there, I was like, this is it. Jesus, take me up because there's no way I'm living on this earth without taste. What would I be living for? I know that sounds awful to say that, but I don't know how people do it without, like, some people literally have conditions where they can't taste. And I'm just like, I love food so much.
I know a few people that can't smell and they're just fine with their taste. Luckily.
Thank God. But
at least I think they're fine with their taste. Maybe they don't know they aren't. Who knows?
Right?
Can't do it. You want to punish me? That's it. Take my taste buds away.
Mm-hmm.
It's the worst.
Okay, Nicole, do you have another one in mind?
Lunchables in the 90s hit a lot different. They hit a lot different. They were bigger.
Yes.
They usually came with 8 crackers and 8 cheeses and 8 meats. The little snacks that came with them, sometimes they were like a fruit snack, or sometimes it was a different chocolate bar or cookies. Like there was so much more variety. Some of them, I remember one came in a giant box that had a Capri Sun pouch with it. In addition to everything else. It was like an actual lunch.
You're preaching, girl. You're preaching.
Right?
For real.
Exactly. Where Lunchables today, they're you get like 6 things and it's always the little original Kit Kat and yeah.
Do you remember when they rolled out the pizza Lunchables?
Yes.
That shit was garbage, but we were eating it up. It was pure like cardboard, but yeah, couldn't have enough. You were real high class rolling up to school with the pizza Lunchable. I think they made a burger one once, but I think that was past like my time period, or like that seemed weird to me. So I never experienced it.
There was 11 years difference between my adopted little brother and I. And so there was the hamburgers one, there was a hot dogs one. Like they got real weird. They got real weird with stuff in the 90s, and I miss that.
There was a total weirdness about
very experimental back then. And then they wonder why our generation is the generation that like got on Instagram and started taking pictures of our food, because food was always a part of our experience growing up. Like, especially if you were like a latchkey kid, your parents weren't like making full course cooked meals. You were getting Lunchables. You were getting the snacks, things thrown in a brown bag. You were wheeling and dealing at the lunch table trying to make your perfect meal. And that's how like hello,
Mhm.
you know, why are we eating takeout? When did you feed us? Because I don't know.
Yeah, there was a lot of eating like that in my house too. Like, yeah, and Pizza Lunchables actually for some reason brought back McPizza to me, the McDonald's pizza.
I never had that. I don't even know
Oh.
if they serve that here.
It had to have been in all of North America. I thought the McPizza, but it
Wow.
was at McDonald's for quite a few years.
Wow. I saw a guy say that you can go to McDonald's and order a birthday cake. Like no one talks about it. I'm like,
Still?
I'm still trying. I didn't know that this existed. I
I
think
want to call
maybe
McDonald's right now. Be like, excuse me, can I have a birthday cake? I'll do it.
yeah, I'm sure like the guy went up, rolled up, said, I'm looking for the birthday cake. The lady said, hold on. She had to go get her manager and they had it. So, but here's my question. If nobody really knows about it, what do they do every month? Is McDonald's just sending these birthday cakes to the stores in hopes somebody might know about it?
How old are these birthday cakes?
Like, what is, I really have questions about this. I'm just curious. But yes, if you call, please let me know if they had that birthday cake.
I would
Doing it
love
on the show.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to hear this phone call. I've watched different TikToks of people doing this, like going around to the different drive-throughs, and it seems a little hit or miss.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe the employee's not asking their manager. They're just like, no, we don't have that. No, we don't have that. No, we don't have that. Like the one guy
Right.
went to 5 different drive-throughs and they were like, no, we don't have that. And then the next video that came up, yeah, I got a birthday cake. Now, I wonder if the birthday cake today hits the same way that the birthday cake back in the last time I had a McDonald's birthday, I think was probably in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it hits the same.
Oh my God. I think now you guys are giving me inspiration that I do now. I now want to do an entire episode on just McDonald's birthday, McDonald's in general, just like the toys, the food, the everything, but the birthday parties. But I also want to like have it paired with the Chuck E. Cheese of it all. I don't know if you guys had Chuck E. Cheese in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
That mouse ruled my world. Okay.
Guys, I remember when you could still smoke in Chuck E. Cheese and like the giant animatronic little band up at the front. For some reason, when I think about that, I think of like it looking real dank and dark in there, and there was smoke, and then all of a sudden this like animatronic, maybe it was Bullwinkles, maybe that's what I think. Was it?
It was dark and scary in there. We loved it.
Yes, and it was smoking. So much smoking.
They had the colored water fountains show, and then they turn on the animatronic show, and like the eyes would move back and forth all weird and sketchy, and like we were eating pizza and fried chicken and losing money and screaming. It was the best time.
I just like, we need to look at the pipeline of Chuck E. Cheese to gambling pipeline, because they essentially they were grooming us to be gamblers. Tell me they weren't. Go play these games, take a
That's what
chance with
arcades
your
do
luck,
to us.
get those tickets. Then you could buy these prizes that are way less than the money you just spent. Yeah, they had us.
Carney scared the shit out of me. We just had our carnival here, and when they'd be like, hey, they're trying to yell at me, trying to get my attention. I'm like, oh, I don't want to throw the ball in the no. I'm scared. I'm gonna call McDonald's.
Okay.
I'm gonna put
Oh
on
my God, I'm
speaker.
so excited. I'm so excited for this.
Okay.
For calling McDonald's.
Hi, do you have birthday cake?
I'm sorry?
Do you have birthday cake?
No, sorry.
Did you used to have birthday cake?
No, I think that's in US.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but we never had that here to sell like the birthday cake, no.
okay. Well, thank you for your time. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. America.
Should I call it McDonald's? Let's
Yes!
see.
Call a
Let's see.
McDonald's.
You can see
A new
it.
segment on the show. Call a McDonald's.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
call random restaurants and ask them
I'm
if
not
they
gonna
have these things.
I'm not gonna call my local one because they know me. I feel like they do. I don't know.
They know that's her voice. That's Danielle's voice.
That's that girl. Like, they don't mess up my fries. They give me a good quality.
Hey,
fry.
is this the no late fees girl?
Okay.
Here it comes.
They might not actually answer here in the States.
It's gonna go to a recorded message. Actually, I'm surprised she picked up the phone.
Yeah. Hi, I was just wondering, do you guys have birthday cake? Do you sell birthday cake?
No, we don't. I'm sorry.
No, no worries. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Lies.
They stopped selling birthday cake.
Somebody got this damn birthday cake.
I want the orange drink.
Oh, I loved that stuff
What's
so
the orange drink?
much.
The orange drink was like orange pop, but I don't think it was carbonated. It was more like a juice,
Oh.
and it came
Did
in
it-
like you could buy it for special events in like a big red McDonald's barrel, and they'd bring it to your event or whatever, or you'd pick one up. And plus, they sold it as their orange pop, did they not?
Orange
I know.
drink.
Orange drink.
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Did they not have it in the States?
I mean, they could. I don't know.
I feel like
Hmm.
everywhere has gone to like High C and Crush and
I see.
carbonated orange
Fudging
beverages.
I'm a big orange pop connoisseur, man. I
The
love orange
only-
pop.
The only high C that I liked was the green one that you would have with the Ghostbuster.
The Ecto Cooler.
Yes. That was my jam.
That was very popular.
Never got to try that one. Never got to try that one.
Oh my god. Let me look and see if it exists here still, and then that's gonna be in the care package.
I definitely lost track of whose turn was what, but that's okay. I think we're going to be wrapping it up pretty soon. I wanted to bring up Warheads.
They do not hit the same today. They are still around and they suck. But then
They're
again,
not as sour.
maybe that is just my dead taste buds. But like I am a sour candy junkie. And so Warheads came up and we looked everywhere and we found the Warheads. And my stepson also really likes sour candy. So yeah, it's
No,
like
not the same.
it's no problem. I remember being back in the 90s and having to rip it out of my mouth because it was the sour burn. And now it's like waiting in the same spot for the jalapeno spice from the kettle chips to come.
This podcast was brought to you by our dead taste buds. You know what killed my taste buds?
What?
What?
A jawbreaker the size of my fist and trying to suck on it for over a day.
We used to take our jawbreakers and what was the other one? The red hot one. Well, not red hots, but there was another one that was like spicy. But we should just throw them on the floor. There used to be like a little baseball field not too far from our house, and so my cousins and I would ride our bike because we didn't have like a corner store in Florida like I had when I was in New York, and we would roll up to where they were selling snacks for the games for the kids, and we would just like buy all of these candies, and so all of our jawbreakers would still be in those little wrappers, and we'd be throwing them on the floor trying to break them to make it easier to eat.
Danielle, are you
Really?
thinking atomic fireballs?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. Also, like when I was doing research for this, lemon heads and there was another red candy. They're really racist. Did you notice like some of them had Asian features on the candy heads screaming? I was just like, what is
Really?
this? Like if you look at the old pictures, I'll find it. I was just like, this is not kosher. Not in the slightest.
Yes, I want to see this picture, but like, wow.
I'm
While
trying
you're
to
doing
think.
that, I just want to make sure that we've got everything covered. Is there any others that we should bring up, Niskers?
I mean, I could go on and on. There was that Viennetta snack dessert.
Oh yeah,
Why
Is
did
it- Is that
why
supposed
did
to be
that
like a
make us?
tiramisu?
It made us think that that was adulthood. Like you were a real adult when you could have that snack. I never had it though.
Really, it was just
I didn't
like
either.
vanilla ice cream that had been piped into certain shapes, and then like crispy chocolate. And like that's literally all it was. And we
Did
were
they
all like,
think they were
"Oh."
making? Did they think they were making a Dairy Queen ice cream cake? Can't even
So
touch
good.
that.
Okay. I found it. I don't know if it's Lemonheads, but it's definitely a candy called the Cherry Clan. It's
Mm.
not good. I'm gonna share my
It's a
screen. in
race.
sec.
So this is the one with the racist logos and such.
Yes, and
Just
I
that name,
remember.
the Cherry Clan. Like really,
Yeah,
it's not not a good idea, guys.
yeah,
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness!
yeah, not great.
It's the hats. It's
Yeah,
the
that's
hats
terrible.
from what is this?
And they made their eyes
Wow.
squint. They made their eyes
yeah,
squint, didn't they?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I was
Did you see the
like,
little? Did you get this one with the little say no to dope?
yes.
What
I
is
think
that?
you've got bigger things to worry about.
Say no to drugs.
than-
When you opened it up, it said say no to drugs inside the. Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of drugs, I want to wrap this with one thing, one more candy that I would buy. Candy cigarettes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there being two types. There was the type that was like the Popeyes one that was just a candy stick.
Mhm.
And then there was this kind that had like a white wrapper around it that had a gum inside, but it had a powdery substance inside. So you literally blow on it and pretend smoke would come out.
Those were
Yeah.
the days.
And I was like, I'm smoking, guys. I'm smoking.
So they were teaching us gambling and teaching us how to smoke. They were prepping us for real. Like the smoking thing, they banned it. Essentially, like we really don't see them here. There is a old-fashioned ice cream shop here called Jackson's. It's a famous like dive restaurant you see on Food Network. It's really good, the ice cream. But there's like a section where it's all old-timey candies and they still have the cigarettes. So when I'm prepping your box, I will make sure I go and I have to go down there and get some for you guys.
That, I wonder if there's the cigarette companies that had some hand in making that
100%. 100%.
Because who thought that would be a good idea?
They
It's a-
did. Because, they're constantly trying to figure out how to get a younger generation. That's why vaping is like, since they have all these laws and protections now here in the States about advertising to children, that's why we don't have any advertisements about alcohol and cigarettes on our TVs or anything anymore. They like really crack down on that. But vaping has become so like cool. All these kids are getting, and they're starting with younger kids. It's like they're getting their market back. It's crazy.
Don't even know the effects of it yet, right?
It's nuts. Some of these kids are getting really sick and having real health issues because they think vaping is not real smoking, and it's a real problem.
Killing our taste buds
Yeah.
without candy.
Sorry, not to end it on such a grim topic.
No, it's okay. Hey, Nicole, I want to make sure that we cover everything like I said earlier. So
Mhm.
tell me what else you got.
Ooh, what else do I got? I know the States had fun things that we didn't get up here, like oatmeal swirlers. They were a little pack of instant oatmeal and it came with a tiny little pack of jam, and you could swirl all of your own designs on that.
Yeah.
Saw the commercials for that, never got them. Cookie Crisp cereal, although I think that might have been a little bit more 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, those, I love that one. And then there was the Rice Krispie Treats cereal.
Oh, that would be, I would like that.
crack. It was.
Well, I don't even think I'd put milk in it. I think I'd just eat it right out of the box.
I don't think they have them anymore, but I was obsessed. And Cookie Crisp was amazing because you're literally allowed to eat cookies with milk for breakfast. French toast sticks, miss those. they don't make those anymore. Tragic. Those were delicious.
Pop Tarts had way better flavors in the 80s and 90s for
Yeah.
sure.
Pop-Tarts were a big deal.
Yeah.
Fruit roll-ups.
Fruit by the foot.
Fruit roll, yeah, fruit snacks, they all hit different now.
Yeah.
The fruit by the foot, they would do those little cutouts so that you could pick little parts of it out. There were fruit string things that were just like that. Those Lifesavers cream savers. Those were huge in the 90s.
And those just made a comeback. They re-released them because people were asking about them. Those did hit a lot. And since you said that you like the air fryer things, a lot of people say to take the Crustables. Remember those snacks? Do you guys have that?
We didn't have them up here. However, they are now appearing at Costco, the strawberry and peanut butter Uncrustables.
So people say that you can put those in the air fryer and they taste legit. So yeah, I'm sure if you look it up on TikTok, they'll tell you what to do. So hot tip.
Yes, I love it.
I guess that banana amoxicillin is not a snack.
I'm glad to know I wasn't the only one. I didn't have the banana, but I had the pink stuff. I remember telling my mom, I'm like, I need that pink stuff. No, it was the amoxicillin was pink for us, and yeah, and that shit was delicious.
Woo! Yeah, it sure made it go down easier.
I never had banana though.
It's not a snack.
We had to keep it in the fridge, of course, right? And then it would be nice cold banana shake, basically.
I used to think my grandma's Ensures were milkshakes when I was little, and she would give them to me, and it's like, Nana, give me some of that milkshake, and I had no idea.
That chocolate milk right there. Eggo didn't Eggo come out in the 80s or 90s?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had those little mini ones that were like 4 of them all stuck together.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of eating one big waffle, you just ate 4 tiny little ones.
Nothing pissed me off more than my mom would buy the Eggos. She'd buy 1 box regular, 1 box blueberry. Hated blueberry. To this day, I just started to actually eat real blueberries. Muffins, nothing would piss me off more than to think something was chocolate chips and it was blueberry. I hated the blueberry Eggos. To this day, I don't even want to see them.
I don't like them. I hear you full out.
Gross.
How about the sewing the cookies that came in the sewing kit? The
royal something or another
butter cookies that came in the blue tin.
The classic Norway, Denmark cookies. Oh man.
My grandma would save all of those tins because she'd use them not only for, she didn't really use it for sewing stuff, but she used them for Christmas when she made baking. And then she'd give us each a tin to fill up her with baking to take home. That's a tradition that's stuck around in my family. We still do it.
I love that tradition.
You can't tell me that like humans don't have some hive mentality at some point, because like how you lived in Canada, you never met my grandma, your grandma never met my grandma, but the fact that everyone universally, we didn't have internet, knew that our parents would save these damn tins and put the same stuff in it, or like the butter containers, and you think you're going to get butter and there's like leftovers and
soup. So not butter, this is soup.
Yep.
Oh,
why throw it out? It's useful. Just remember what's inside, that's all, because you can't see through it.
Recycling. It's great, but please mark it and let me know so I'm not getting my feelings hurt. Oh, Nanny, you got cookies? No.
Nana, where's your sewing kit? Why is there cookies in your sewing kit?
I love the cookies that came in that with the little sugar crystals on top. Those were my favorite ones.
The pretzel shaped ones were my favorites.
I agree with both of you.
It would suck because you would eat your favorites up and then you would have like those plain fancy shaped ones that were just left over, and you're like, oh, I guess I'll eat these because you don't have any more.
Too dry, not enough sugar.
Yeah.
And see, like as an adult, I would look at all of those and I'd be like, I'm gonna take you all and grind you up and make you into a crust in a cheesecake.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
So smart. It's probably way better that way
You
than
should
as a cookie.
totally do a TikTok and call it the millennial.
I really should. I really should. With the
Yeah.
amount of stuff that, like, fun tip, you guys, if you like fruit roll-ups and you have fruit roll-ups, take a fruit roll-up and take the tiniest little scoop of vanilla ice cream and make it into a pouch and put it in your mouth.
Oh, it's like a dumpling.
Oh my
It is the
gosh.
weirdest thing because, like, you have the texture of your fruit roll-up, which is soft and pliable, and then you put the ice cream in it, and the ice cream makes it, like, within about 30 seconds gets really hard. So you
Uh-huh.
put it in your mouth, and then the fruit roll-up immediately starts melting again in your mouth. Like, it's bizarre, and it is so good.
Interesting.
So good.
Is it almost like the orange creamsicle bars? Because I used to love those. Not like flavor wise, but kind of that
Texture?
like the ice cream with the juice, like
with the popsicle on the outside?
Yeah, not thinking that they would go together, but they actually pair very well.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not similar in texture or flavor, but just like that wrapping around the mind. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it is so good. And you just have to try it. It sounds weird. Like my husband was like, that's weird. And I'm like, shut up and open your mouth. And he did. He's like, oh my God, that's so good.
I thought that's brilliant.
Shut up and open your mouth. I just can't.
I want to thank you, Niskers, for bringing up this topic because it was your idea to do this show. So brilliant.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
My pleasure. I love the 90s. The 90s were so good.
There's
So
three
much
things I
fun.
learned today. The US and Canada snacks aren't as different as I thought they were. You know, I also learned that our taste buds are dying and nothing hits the same. Nothing. And McDonald's does answer the phone still. Okay. No. Yeah. So thank you. And Danielle, you're amazing. Like, honestly, came out of nowhere, just batted out of the park. Thank you.
Oh, thanks for inviting me. And I can't wait to have you guys on the show too, like to do
Sure.
a special 90s episode.
That would be fun. No More Late Fees podcast. Check it out wherever you get all those good podcasts. And yeah. Thanks, ladies.
Bye.
Thank you, Naomi. Danielle, it was awesome meeting with you. This was
You
so fun.
too.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Social media, yeah, we've got it. Send us an email, dopenostalgiapodcast@gmail.com. Twitter, Nostalgia Dope. Or on Insta, dope_nostalgia.
This podcast is licensed by SOCAN because we believe that artists should be paid for their work.